So what are your expectations? I mean, is the goal of this meeting in Alaska to walk away with a ceasefire?
So when you talk about deals, it's all I do. My whole life I do deals. You never know. You don't like to have too many expectations. You want it because you have to weave and bob and you don't know what's going to happen. But we're going to go and find out. I'd like to see a ceasefire. I wouldn't be thrilled if I didn't get it, but everyone says you're not going to get the ceasefire. It'll take place on the second meeting. The second meeting is going to be but I'm not going to be happy with that. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to be, I won't be happy if I walk away without some form of a ceasefire. Now, I say this, and I've said it from the beginning, this is really setting the table today. We're going to have another meeting if things work out, which will be very soon. Or we're not going to have any more meetings at all, maybe ever.
Here's the difference. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. The media is absolutely going crazy over the fact that Trump is meeting with Vladimir Putin in Alaska right now. They're having a summit where they're trying to find peace. And you could tell the difference here between the respects and the levels of Vladimir Putin and Vladimir Zelensky. Now, Zelensky tried to literally bomb and do all these crazy things in Ukraine against Russia before this meeting took place. Many Democrats have been trying to tear Trump down. But Trump just did something on the tarmac, meeting Vladimir Putin, that literally shows the difference between America first and America last, and Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and President Trump, the biggest difference. So you see this ultimate respect here that Vladimir Putin is showing Trump, but Trump is doing something. He did something today that was pretty historic. As they were driving to go meet, he is showing, again, they're in this car right here, right? They're in this car right here. I'm going to take the music off, so I want you to get the perspective of what it is that Trump is showing Putin. Putin literally is just sitting in the car with President Trump. They're vibing. They're basically meeting. But as you go by, boy, oh boy, look at those U.S. bombers. Look at those choppers. President Trump is literally a power move and showing exactly what we could do to you if you get out of line, which I doubt that Vladimir Putin will. And I'll tell you exactly why. But man, what a show of force there by the president of the United States of America. But let's get to the video that you guys clicked on, ladies and gentlemen. This is a power move. And I want you guys to take a look at this. It's one of the best things you'll see today.
The single greatest power move in the history of modern politics just happened live in Alaska. Vladimir Putin meeting Donald Trump, walking down the red carpet. Donald Trump flies a secret B-2 stealth bomber over his head. Vladimir Putin stops and looks up at the sky like this.
Yeah, man. He's looking around like, oh man, and then Trump is ensuring him, no, don't worry about it. Just as long as you don't get out of line, you're gonna be okay. He's letting him know right now. He's looking around like, oh man, what did I get myself into? Oh wow, yo, this is the best thing you will see, bruh.
This is power politics. This is smash mouth, people. And then Donald Trump with the handshake. The handshake. Yanking in Putin. Trump looks massive compared to Putin. He's a very teeny little man, actually. This is an amazing thing. And then they head into the beast together. So Donald Trump shoves them in his car. Absolute Trump in control. 47 in control. Absolute power play here by Donald Trump. Should make all Americans proud. What do we want here? We want peace. That's all we want. We want peace. That's it. We want to get back to focusing on America first and stop burning all of our treasure and destroying and killing so many lives in some country 5,000 miles away. That should not.
Yeah, so you have it there, right? We want peace, but this is a show of force. This is what Trump calls, and we pretty much call it, is peace through strength, showing the enemy exactly what we could do to you so that way we don't have to do it. So that way we don't have to do this whole destruction and unaliving people. And you guys know the demonic stuff, the stuff that we rebuke in the name of Jesus, right? As a Christian. So this thing is just, it gets more interesting, but I wanted to read this real quick again. I saw this from James Klug. He said, the "we can effing kill you" flyover. That's what they called this flyover. And this is when it happened live. It's even more impressive when it happened live. Man, that is badass, man. Look at that. The "we can effing you right now" flyover. Again, doesn't mean it's going to happen. Doesn't mean any of that, but it just literally one of the biggest shows of strength. And you can see Vladimir Putin right there just looking around like, whoa, what's happening? What is happening right now? And so they're having this conversation. And then the media, let's talk about the media, right? This meeting's still kind of on the way. We're praying for the best. I'm going to show you a couple clips from this meeting, but I'm going to show you exactly how the media just doesn't even know how to act now that Vladimir Putin is here. And by the way, Vladimir Putin is in the United States of America. He's in Alaska. He's meeting Trump. The first contact he has made with an American, a politician, a president since the war began. This is why this meeting is so important, because we want peace. We don't want to keep funding Ukraine. We don't want to keep funding this war. We don't want these two countries to continue to go all out on each other. But what does the media decide to do? Well, we got to take a look at what the media decides to do and look at Putin's reaction to all these stupid questions.
Press. Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Let's go. Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Let's go. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you, press. Let's go. Thank you, press.
They just start acting a fool, and then Vladimir Putin's face is even more hilarious. He's like, "Yo, what are you guys saying? What's wrong with y'all? Like, what are you saying right now? Like, why are these people so crazy?" And now he's finally realizing, oh man, this is what Trump has to deal with on a 24/7 basis. Putin finally understands why Trump calls them the fake news media. This is in the Alaska summit. Again, meetings are still underway, but something also happened. Interesting. The biggest difference between every other leader is the mass respect that they show Trump, but they also show this country. I want you to see this clip right here. This clip right here is very interesting to me. Interesting how Putin has stepped foot on America for about a decade, and just before on his way back, pays his respects to U.S. and Soviet Union fighters in the World War II alliance memorial in Russia. Zelensky loves to come to America every 6 months and disrespect and bankrupt us. This is what he did before he made his way to Alaska. Take a look at this. Many people saw this. I'm not going to jump and say it because I don't think that right now. But many people are saying this is all Putin ever wanted. Putin in 2000 wanted to basically have an alliance with the United States of America. But when it came to NATO, the misunderstanding and the miscommunication drew him very far away from the United States of America. And then NATO just wasn't an ally. And in fact, one of his biggest arguments, not to go into too much detail on that, one of his biggest arguments that NATO is beginning to get too close. And he cannot allow NATO and Ukraine to become an ally of NATO. And so that's one of his biggest things, one of his biggest arguments. But before we get into that, just very interesting to me, the show of respect, and maybe something can happen here. And it's so wild that many Democrats are against this. But one surprising Democrat, and I think I have an idea why, because I think she just wants to stay out of prison, wants to stay out of Trump's way. One Democrat had a lot to say about this. She even made a proposition, which is very interesting. And I think, again, I'm very skeptical about this. In my opinion, is Hillary Clinton said that she would nominate President Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize if he ends the war in Ukraine. And Trump's response is actually hilarious. Again, you guys know Trump is always going to have a response to this. It's always going to be hilarious, in my opinion. But it's funny how Hillary Clinton wants to jump on a train, knowing that this is one of the biggest power moves. So again, we're talking about President Trump, a person who went and met with the North Korean leader, crossed the border just to meet up with him. Again, he crossed, I think it was some lines that never been crossed before by an American politician, a president to be exact. And he ended up shaking hands and walking around with Kim Jong-un. And that was very impressive because not even Obama could get that done. So he's showing you here that one of the biggest ways and the biggest things you could do is actually speak to the enemy. Go speak to them directly. Go try to find peace. I'm very impressed by this. I got to tell you, man, I am very impressed. But let's end the video on this note, by the way. And we also got to talk about, I forgot to mention, Alaskans were so happy to see Trump there. I was very surprised by seeing how many Alaskans actually showed up. I do want to show you a video of this. I'll probably make a video about this later. But as you can see here, Alaskans saying, hey, we're so happy that Trump is having the meeting here. And they came out by the thousands, hundreds, to go and try to get a glance at Trump. So that was very surprising to me. But let's go. Let's end it right here. Let's end it with the hilarious Trump response with Brett Baer as they're having an interview on Air Force One. Take a listen.
In fact, did you see that Hillary Clinton yesterday said that if you got this deal done and not capitulate to Putin, that she would nominate you for the Nobel Peace Prize?
If President Trump were the architect of that, I'd nominate him for a Nobel Peace Prize.
Well, that was very nice. I may have to start liking her again.
I may have to start liking her again. Knowing you ain't never going to like Hillary Clinton, but that's hilarious. And that's how I want to end this video. Again, we're going to get more updates. I'm going to be back with you guys. It's one of the biggest meetings, but again, a show of force by Trump. Again, the flyover to me was one of the most badass things. Again, a lot of people, they don't understand. I try to get people to understand. Trump is a once in a lifetime figure. When he goes in the very future, we hope that's no time soon. I don't want to, bring that up and that I'm wishing that. But you guys know that time goes and people go, and figures like this don't come around much often. I think people should just enjoy the theatrics and the optics behind President Trump, man. It's too good.